Well, hello everybody and welcome to Lunch Break Live, real talk about obesity, food addiction, recovery, and what's really eating you. I am Carrie De La Cruz, here with you on what I'm calling a Thursday afternoon in Southern California. Boy, the winds really blew through. What is it with me and the weather? I'll tell you what it is, okay? We were promised thunderstorms yesterday, but everybody who lives in Southern California knows that it not only doesn't rain, but there's never thunderstorms, okay? Even though there was like this big thunderhead that my daddy would have been proud of out over the mountains yesterday, it did not result in any sort of rain or thunder showers or lightning or anything along those lines. And believe me, I've been to Texas. I know what thunderstorms are like. We got nothing. All right. All we got was a bunch of wind that blew a bunch of crap all over our cars. And I think that's what this comes down to. Southern California does not like weather other than sun, okay, because it gets our cars dirty. That's what it is. We live in a very car-driven environment. And our cars must look spectacular because we spend so much time in them every day. And if it rains just enough to be like someone spitting dirt on your car, you get very bitter about it. And of course, we're still under drought conditions here. So we're not even allowed to wash our own cars in front of our houses unless it's like certain days that you're always working. And so you have to, pay money to have someone else wash your car. And so, yes, it is the source of bitterness if you pay someone to wash your car and then it rains. Or it doesn't rain and just like blows crap all over your car. So that's where we are today on this Thursday, which is actually really sunny out there. And the wind has calmed down after it dirtied my car. Anyway, afternoon. For me, okay, you may be watching this on demand going, what the heck? What is she talking about again? Or you may be in New Zealand. I haven't seen my New Zealand. Oh, I saw Marcus yesterday. I was going to say I haven't seen my New Zealand friends in a while, but anyway, let's see. Hi, Mom. I'm going to do a little shout out. Hi, Melissa. I see you. Because Facebook is scrolling by so quickly, I need to make sure that when your names pop up, I'm actually saying something. Hey, Stephanie, I don't think I've seen you in a while. Certainly. I see you online. Have you ever joined the show? Really glad that you guys are here. Today's going to be a really fun show. And okay, first of all, I'm going on record that I'm not going to say a certain word that I even said yesterday I wasn't going to say. As I was telling you, I wasn't going to say that word, but I apparently said the word that I wasn't going to say, and I got called out on it by Cristy. So I can't even tell you what word it is that I'm not going to say, even as I not say it, okay? So I'm just not going to say it. Hey, Paul, I'm really glad you're here again, too. All right, so today's show, I have some announcements though, because what I did is I went out and I asked you guys, because I thought I wasn't going to be here. I thought I was going to have to work. Well, I am working, but offsite. And then it turned out I could be here, but then I was like, well, what do you guys want me to talk about? And so I threw it out there on my wall and you guys came up with some pretty good suggestions. So I'm going to answer those. But before I do that, hey, Rebecca, welcome. No, Mom, I'm not saying that word. That is the word that I'm not saying. I don't want to get called out on it again. All right. But before I answer your very good questions or suggestions, what I wanted to do is I have some super fun announcements. First of all, what did you guys think of the show yesterday? What have you thought of the shows lately? I have to know because it was kind of wild, right? Talking about the addiction matrix. It was kind of cool, right? I liked it. There was a lot of chatter about red pill, blue pill, and, once you take the red pill, what happened? Can you ever take the blue pill again? Stuff like that. It was really super cool. So if you didn't see yesterday's show, be sure to check it out because I think it was pretty good. Hey, Trisha, you're here again. Welcome, welcome. Really glad you're here. All right. So before I get into answering your suggestions, all right, I have some announcements. This is important. One of my very faithful viewers, Elisa, she's right here from Southern California, Fountain Valley, which is my home base. She is participating in something called the Shatterproof Challenge Repel Orange County. And she's raising money and awareness for a national nonprofit organization. This is so cool. I'd never heard of them, by the way, that is dedicated to reducing the devastation that the disease of addiction causes families. Yes, you know how I always talk about addiction's family disease, right? Well, this nonprofit organization, Shatterproof, was created to help rebuild families that are devastated by addiction. Shatterproof is saving lives by advocating for policy changes, expanding access to treatment and recovery programs, yes, and ending the stigma associated with addiction. Yay. I could totally get behind that big time. Really. So anyway, and you can too, by the way. Let's see. she has to raise $1,000, and once she does, this is super cool. She gets to rappel 16 stories down the outside of a building, like suspended by ropes and pulleys. I would so love to do that. I would love to do that. So she gets to do that. Trust me, that is something she would never have conceived of doing, let alone been able to do when she was active in her obesity. So go, Elise. I'm so proud of you. I think that is super awesome. So I want to congratulate you. And of course, I'm going to invite you to sponsor her if you would like to. I could put her video I could put the info in the video description down below here when I'm done broadcasting. All right. And here's the cool thing that I want you to take away from this. All right. Shatterproof says, together we are stronger than addiction. Together, we are stronger than addiction. And you know what? That's kind of the way I feel about this show and about all of you guys. We are stronger than addiction. I totally believe that with my whole heart. I love that. Go, Elisa. I am so proud of you. Next, a little shout out to my friend. I'm using your name, honey. I'm using your name because I'm so proud of you. Jessica, okay? She deserves credit because let me just tell you, she is working her recovery in an admirably humble way. And that's key, guys. Humility is key. So yesterday, she was having a conversation with a friend about how proud she was of saying no to some really tempting goodies. I mean, she was talking about, they had come up in her house, several times, and she was like, nope, not going to do it. She stayed clear, went to the gym instead, all right? So she's talking to her friend about this, and this stranger chimed in, unrequested opinion, by the way, saying, are you ready? You know what she said. People shouldn't deprive themselves of something they want because that's not living. Hey, thanks for nothing. But anyway, I was being bratty. So I might have said something vastly different. I don't need to tell you what I would have said. It might have been different and certainly not humble, which is probably a good thing I was not the one saying it. But Jessica chose to address it differently. And here's what she said. She said, I know myself and I know my limits. And I have learned that I have to respect what I can and can't eat. I know how to work, manage my own addiction, basically. So kudos to you, babe. Kudos to you for owning your own recovery and doing it humbly. That's a big deal, you guys. That is such a big lesson because I can get really bratty sometimes. I could throw it down and go, oh, so you didn't mention what area of addiction and recovery, where do you work? Because I always love talking to people who know more about addiction than I do. Okay, that's why I'm not the person that needs to be addressing that all the time. So Jessica, go you. Really, really super proud of you. And you guys could definitely pull a page out of her book for how to work recovery in a humble way. All right, so now let's take a look at your suggestions, if you guys are ready. Okay, so everyone has an opinion and feels they have the right to put it on you. Oh, and I'll be talking about that, Cristy. You're exactly right. And you are welcome, Jessica de la Cerda. I'm so proud of you, girlfriend. All right. So, Cristy Gutierrez. See how I rolled that R? Gutierrez. Here was her response when I asked for suggestions for today's show. She said, basically, how do you keep on track while being busy? Okay. And hello back from Elysian Fields, Texas. Well, I'm not in Elysian Fields, Texas, so I'll have to say hello back from sunny Southern California, near Long Beach. Okay. So anyway, she said, how can you keep on track while being busy? Okay. Here's my answer. You ready? Isn't keeping track part of being busy? That's like the first thing that came to my mind. Because to me, working my recovery is my job. That is what's supposed to keep me busy, right? And I can't, think about it. I can't just not show up for my job here, right, whenever I want to. I can't just not show up for being a wife or a mother or a daughter or a friend or, I don't know, the person that does this show most days during the week, right? I can't just not show up. I can't do that. Okay, what happens when I don't show up? I know you're asking it, right? Because it happens sometimes. I assure you, I do not stop working my recovery. So just so you know, even when I'm not broadcasting, work on my recovery. I just don't get to talk to you guys about it. Okay, so back to your question about keeping on track. Here's what I want you to ask yourself. What else is on that track that is stopping you from staying on it? Think about that for a minute. What is on that track that is stopping you from staying on it? So I guess I'm a little confused, and maybe I didn't understand the question, but maybe I think you should reevaluate the track. Just take a step back. Where is it going? Is it taking you where you want to go? Have you evaluated your priorities? Like what matters most? Because you got to see if the path that you're on is going to take you where you want to go, right? Isn't that the purpose of a track, to take you where you want to go? We got to make sure that wherever that track leads, the one that you're on leads you where you want to go, which is to recovery. So why would you get off that path if you really want recovery? So you have to look at your priorities and you have to decide, is recovery really my priority? Because to me, my track is recovery. That is my track. So if there is anything that is on that track that gets in the way, right, that crosses the track, that gets in the way of my recovery, it has to leave the track. It has to leave the track, not me. All right, so that's, let's see, that's how I answered that one. All right, so here's the next one from Regina. I never know how to pronounce it. I see this, Ferfecki. Did I get that right? I don't know if it's Ferfecki or Ferfecki. So I'm just going with, hey, Regina, here's your question. What does one day at a time look like for you? Okay, well, naturally, I need to know what calendar you're using because if it looks different than mine, that could be where the problem is. But for me, for the record, as I mentioned at the top of the show, today is Thursday. And let's see, it has 24 hours. No more, no less. But I'm usually asleep for like 8 of them, at least, in any given day. So like that takes it down to 16. And then I like driving to and from work. That's like an hour each way. So that brings it down to 14. Oh, if I get my nails done, that's like an hour and a half. Okay, so now we're at like 12 and a half. I spend 9 hours at work. So that brings it down to 2.5 hours to work my recovery. And then, okay, I do need an hour and a half to get ready in the morning. I do, okay, but that includes a lot of stuff. You know, I got to feed the cat, and I got to do the laundry. I'm like puttering around, making the bed, okay? So hour and a half in the morning to get ready, and then like I need an hour to wind down and get ready for bed. So really, it's really easy when you think about it. I mean, I'm just so busy with everything else. I mean, I don't really have time to obsess about my recovery, I guess. But here's the key. I eat the same stuff every day at the same time. Every day at the same time. In the same amounts, by the way. It's already portioned, okay? I don't have to think about that. And I don't pay attention to anything that falls outside of that normal stuff, all right? Okay, wait, I want to read. Hi, Keela. Okay, I got to read, Cristy, because otherwise it'll like zip right on through. I got to stop what I'm saying. Okay. So I'm starving by the time I can eat. I did well yesterday, but there are times I don't stop eating once I start because I waited too long. Okay, well, the easy answer there as I finish my answer is don't wait till you get that hungry. You got to eat smaller meals, right? You know, because you got to keep your energy. So if it's like a string cheese, right? If it's a little stick of string cheese, if it's a little bit of cottage cheese with some salsa and some Kalamata olives and some pumpkin seeds on it, it's loaded with, right? Mid-morning, maybe it's a protein shake that you drink. Maybe in the afternoon you have a protein bar. You know, you got to break it up. Don't let yourself get so hungry. That's kind of the key to that. All right. And yes, Nina, you're asking me, can I share what I eat in a day? Like, I'll try and get around to that if I can on this show. It's very boring. Anyway, but I just mentioned one, cottage cheese with salsa and Kalamata olives and pumpkin seeds. Not the ones in the shell. That would take me too long to eat. All right. So basically, what I was saying is that I eat the same thing, same amount, same time, right? That's like my safe zone. That's what I create. That's the space I have created for myself to live in, okay? And I don't pay attention to anything that falls outside of that structure. So what that means is if a vendor brings bagels into the office or someone helpfully brings in homemade cookies or hubby buys ice cream, yeah, okay, those things not part of my recovery. They're like not even options, so why would I spend time thinking of them? They're not part of my options, all right? And it's precious time, which clearly, as I just delineated my day, I don't have time to be thinking about that stuff, right? And, okay, it sounded like someone was calling me. They're going to have to wait. Let's see. So I guess what I'm saying is this. I commit to my recovery, okay? But then I don't spend a bunch of time obsessing about it all day. I'm in recovery. I'm in recovery. I'm in recovery. Nope, really don't. Don't spend all day thinking about how I'm in recovery. I just do what people in recovery do. Do you see what I'm saying? And I don't stop to ask, should I be doing this? Do I want to do this? How do I feel about doing this? What if I didn't do this? No, I just do it. Okay, I don't spend time asking about it. And when a temptation arises, you know, like a familiar trigger, which can happen, I don't react. Because that's what I used to do. I used to react, oh, got to eat it. No, I respond, which is usually to say, nope. Yeah, hi. No, not going to happen. But nice try. I talk to stuff all the time. I'm like, nice try. Good one. Good one. You thought you were going to get me on that one? Because like I usually used to stick my finger in the bowl, but no, not going to happen. So in other words, I choose what I do. I don't just go about my day mindlessly. I'm plugged in. I'm connected. That's part of owning my recovery, because I got to be present for it, right? Don't shovel things into my mouth. Nope. See, that's what I used to do. And then I didn't have to be responsible for it. No, it's up to me to be the grown-up. That's kind of the distillation of this whole day of mine, and every day, one day at a time. I got to be the grown-up, and I got to say, that's part, if that is not a part of your recovery, you need to leave it, Carrie. Nope, not going to happen. Move along, leave it. See, I talk to myself that way. And okay, maybe this is like a simple answer that could take more than a day to explain, but I think you catch my drift. I think you get where I'm going. Hey, Lisa, welcome. I'm so glad you joined me. All right, which brings me to Nikki, who is always making me think. Nikki Massie, you're always making me think, girlfriend. All right, actually you all are, but she's just known. Leave the shovel in the shed. That's right, Mama. Good job, yes. So she said, let's talk about this all or nothing mentality. Yes, let's. Shall we? This could be fun. I blame the music industry. I'm just going to start right there, okay? I think it's their fault because, do you guys remember that Anjali commercial from like 1980? Do you remember? Hi, Priscilla, welcome. All right. It told women everywhere, you can bring home the bacon, you can fry it up in the pan, and never, ever, ever let him forget he's a man, okay? So first of all, let's start there, okay? I blame them. We got messaging, all of this pop culture commercial referencing, messaging everywhere. You can be a mom and you can be a career woman. You can earn your own money so you can buy your own things. Calgon will take you away. You can have another cup because it's Sanka. And you can have a soda because it's sugar-free tab. You can have it your way at Burger King. You remember hold the pickle, hold the lettuce, special orders, don't upset us. You remember that? Okay. Oh, but don't worry. In case you don't want to just have it your way, McDonald's will go ahead and double it for you with 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. Okay? So you can have it all. And you know what? That is a whole lot of everything and not much nothing when you think about it. That's how you can have everything. And that's what we are being told. We are being spoon-fed the fact that we can have everything and should expect to get it, okay? So we're consumers. That's what we are. We consume. And so advertisers shape what we believe. That's their job, okay? And in our society, we are bombarded by messaging that says, do what you want, when you want, how you want. Hey, how do you watch TV now, right? I mean, people will say, what time is that on? What channel is that on? I have no idea. I just DVR it. It's on Netflix. It's on Amazon Prime streaming. I have no idea. I just binge watch, right? I don't have to wait for The Wizard of Oz to come on once a year. I can watch it anytime I want. See, I can have it my way. I can have it all. I can watch an entire season of a show in one sitting, which is why they call it binging, okay? All right, so, oh, and don't forget this. If someone offends you, very important, right? Because it's all about how we feel. Don't let them get away with it. You got to handle it right now, especially on Facebook or Twitter. And if you don't know how to get offended, I would like to encourage you to learn. It's really easy. You just have to pretend everything is about you and that everything anybody else said was stupid, ignorant, they don't know better, and they are opposed to you, and they think they don't like you. Okay, that's just like a primer. You know, that's how you could get started with learning how to be offended. All right, just go from there. You don't have to put up with anything you don't want to hear or see or believe. These are ground rules, okay? You can have all of the flavor and none of the guilt. You can buy things on credit so you don't have to wait. You can cook your meals in the microwave, get your food, prescriptions, and even marriage at the drive-thru. So we're talking convenience here. Convenience and entitlement. Because, wait for it, you deserve it. Yeah, you're entitled to it. You can have it all, do it all, buy it all, eat it all, get it all. You deserve nothing less than all of it. And if you can't have some, why take any? Only 100% success will do. Okay, let's remember that. 100% success will do. So in other words, if you only lose 90 pounds and you don't lose 100, what? you're a failure because you didn't do it all. You only did some, and we all know that all is the same. Some is the same as nothing, right? Let's remember that. Okay, so yeah, and you shouldn't have even tried, by the way. If you only made it to 90 pounds and not the full 100, I can't even believe you tried. I mean, clearly you were not on the right track for success, and somewhere along the line, something got on your track, and you went on the failure track instead of the success track, so you might as well have just done nothing. Nothing, right? Since you didn't do it all, you might as well have done nothing. We like what we like, right? We like what we like. We like having nice things. We like not having to suffer or go without. We want to control our temperature. Like in my car, I can just, talk to it and say, climate, 72. That's it. I can make it exactly to the degree that I want. Okay, I'm just going to insert something here. I don't use the climate control settings in my car too often because that burns up the electricity and I don't want to have to use gas. Okay, I'm just saying. That's how I save gas, I phrase. All right, so here's what I want to know. In this day and age where we don't have to suffer or go without or not have everything that we want, do you think people in the Depression era had an all or nothing mentality? Well, if I can't have everything, then I don't want that bread. Then I'm stood in line for. See, I wanted the whole entire sandwich. Now you're just going to give me the bread? Well, I just don't want any of it. Do you really think so? Right? I wanted more coffee. I wanted more beans. I wanted sugar. And you didn't give me any sugar, so now I don't want anything. Take it all back. I'm pretty sure no. I'm pretty sure they didn't do that. Do you think people of World War I or II had everything or nothing mentality? Do you think they ever said, yeah, I don't want anything, I don't think so. Do you think the words agreement, negotiation, or compromise are dirty words now? Agreement, negotiation, compromise. Those words, those sound dirty to you now, right? Because what would that mean? That would mean you're less than. That would mean giving in or giving up or giving away your power or giving someone else power. Someone's better than you. I can't compromise. I can't negotiate. I can't. Maybe you got to think about that. How about this? How about sharing, leaving something for others, or going without? Yeah. Do you think those concepts are embraced these days? Nope. I don't think so. It's all about me. Me. I get mine. Don't worry about you. If you get yours, great. If not, not my problem. As long as I get mine, right? So I guess what I'm saying, it's no wonder we want it all because we were lied to and told we could and should have it all. And now we're being told that we shouldn't. And I don't like people shoulding on me. I don't like that, right? So I don't like limitations. And I don't like rules and restrictions and boundaries and deprivation. Yeah, right. Deprivation. Pretty sure the definition of deprivation now, not the same as it was in Depression era, World War II era, where you literally went without. You literally were deprived of certain things, including copper and metal and daily conveniences and, light. Sometimes you had to just turn the lights off. That's deprivation, people. Not now. You've heard me talk about it before, and people will bitch and moan at me about how I just don't get it because deprivation is a feeling. Get over the feeling because it's not real. You may have felt that you were deprived when you were younger. It's not real. You can get what you need. You can get your needs met. You just have to adjust your definition of need. So I want you to think about all that stuff in your own life and then think about this just for today. Can I leave something left unsaid? Can I leave something left unsaid? Can I not respond in anger because I'm offended? I can work on this. Or better yet, can I not be offended and just disagree with somebody? Can I just disagree and not be offended? Can I decide not to have something even though I know I can have it? Well, this starts to get a little tricky here. I think we have to change the way we talk to ourselves. I think that's where this starts, right? Because once we do that, then we can change the all or nothing mentality. See, we've got to change how we talk to ourselves. Something is wonderful. Think about it. All right, so that is my attempt at 54 after the hour. And Gail, I'm so glad that you are here. Let me look, rationing, you betcha. My mom lived through that. I didn't. Hey, Michael May, really glad you're here. You might want to go back and watch the show. It's kind of fun. Because you're grabbing me on the tail end, but that came out all wrong. You are not grabbing me on the tail end. That does not sound right at all. catching the program just as I'm winding down. Doesn't that sound better? But I'm really, really glad you're here to grab me on the tail end. Let's see here. Did I catch, let's see, I know that, Nina, you wanted me to say, and that's why you don't watch commercials, Cristy, right? And that song, yeah, now you're going to have an earworm with that song in your head, you know, bringing home the bacon and frying it up in the pan. All right, so basically, I know, Nina, you asked me, well, what do you eat? And as a rule, you know me, I don't tend to like to talk about food, especially because it's kind of boring for me. And really, I mean, I can tell you pretty quickly, you know, right now, because I was told I had to increase my protein considerably because of the whole dizziness thing that was going on with me and the, you know, I was going to say stigmata. I don't have stigmata. The stricture, you know, maybe that I have because of it's a long story, and I'm not going to get into my medical history, and that's not what you asked anyway. You asked about food. Point is, I'm drinking protein shakes more now, like the ready-to-drinks, Premier Protein in the morning, like when I first wake up. So I'll have one of those. Cottage cheese, love it, with my chipotle salsa from Trader Joe's that they don't sell anymore, so I bought 2 cases of it. I'm good. And those shelled pumpkin seeds because they're loaded with protein, and Kalamata olives sometimes when I can get them. Okay, so I got that. And then I got my quiche, you know, my half a quiche from Trader Joe's, which I love. And I have that for lunch right after I hang up with you guys. And then in the afternoon, like, I'll have a protein bar by Power Crunch. And then sometimes, like, I had some little mandarins, you know, those little clementines, the little teeny, yummy, sweet oranges, because they're like bariatric size. They're perfect. Have some of those. And then at night, always, I'm working my way back to my salad again because I missed it so much I wasn't able to eat it for a while. I have this like amazing salad with butter leaf lettuce, and I chop it up really small, and I have feta cheese and pumpkin seeds again. You'll notice there's like a trend there with pumpkin seeds in me. Feta cheese, let's see, cucumbers that I, you know, chop up and put in rice vinegar, which I super love. And I just make sure that my protein content is up all the time. And then I don't eat anything after that. I go to bed. Okay, I go to bed after that. So sometimes I'll have like a Greek Light and Fit yogurt, like one of those in there. Sometimes I'll have one of those drinks, those Dan and Light and Fit drinks, whatever. Just kind of work it in, but I break it up into small little things, and I just don't go crazy, and I just don't go to town. And you know what? If it doesn't fit under the umbrella of the things that I know work for me, I don't eat them. Okay, I just don't. Premier is awesome. Yeah, I like the bananas and cream. And then, like, I bought, someone was selling chocolate ones in my neighborhood, and I bought those. But you know what? If you mix them with the caramel, you get chocolate caramel, and you have a half and half. And you can do all kinds of crazy chemistry. So that's pretty much it. Pretty boring. And, you know, I've talked about my list before. And if you didn't hear it, I pretty much don't eat it. Okay. And lots of water, and I drink Propel and stuff like that. So anyway, that's about it. I really appreciate you guys being here. Man, I have worked up a sweat. I really appreciate you guys being here with me. I'm so glad I was able to join you. What'd you think of this format? Did you kind of like it? Let me know. Share this with a friend. Really super important. Let me just do a shout out to Melissa, who is a monster sharer. Oh my gosh, if I gave awards and trophies or free vitamins or something to people who shared my show, oh my gosh, Melissa would win it all every time. Yesterday you shared it 4 places? 4? Seriously? So come on, you guys. Don't you think you could share it once if Melissa can share it 4 times? I'm pretty sure you can. So please do. I think someone else could benefit from this, don't you? And we always have a good time and laugh, except when we're being really, really serious. But I don't leave you guys feeling hopeless, right? All right, somebody just wrote a neat long comment, Nina. So I'm going to read that offline so I can let you go. Thank you so much for being here. I had a great time, and I will see you tomorrow. So I'm going to sign off and remind you all to have courage, seek peace, embrace joy, and above all, live your recovery. Remember, you can't stop feeding what's eating you if you don't know what's eating you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye.